I'm Eliza, and this is Moving Pictures. Today we'll be running through the movies coming to theaters in the next month. Here's the list for October of 2017. October 6th, Blade Runner 2049. Taking place 30 years after the original film, there is a new Blade Runner on scene, LAPD Officer K, played by Ryan Gosling. He's unearthed a buried secret that could potentially destroy what's left of society, threatening to throw all into chaos. He must find Rick Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, an LAPD Blade Runner who hasn't been seen in 30 years. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, this neo-noir sci-fi thriller also stars Jared Leto, Robin Wright, Ana de Armas, and Dave Bautista. The Mountain Between Us. A terrible plane crash causes two strangers to come together in order to survive on a snowy mountain in the middle of nowhere. They must travel across hundreds of miles to find help, as it is not coming to them, finding strength within themselves that they may not have found without this strange opportunity. Directed by Hani Abu Assad, this disaster romance stars Idris Elba, Kate Winslet, Dermot Mulroney, and Beau Bridges. My Little Pony, the movie. Ponyville is being threatened by a dark force, and the main six must travel outside of their homeland of Equestria in order to try and save it using friendship and magic. Join them on their journey where they will meet new friends and face great challenges. Starring voice actresses Tara Strong and Ashley Ball, as well as their new friends Zoe Saldana, Emily Blunt, and Liev Schreiber. The Florida Project. Starring Willem Dafoe and Brooklyn Prince, this drama set in Florida follows a 6-year-old as she grows up in the area surrounding Disney World. Taking place over one summer, we see the bond between her and her mother grow as she and her playmates find adventure and mischief in their little world. October 13th. Happy Death Day. It's your birthday and your death day, all wrapped in one. And Groundhog's Day, too. Tree Gelbman, played by Jessica Roth, is cursed to live her birth and death day over and over until she finds the identity of her killer. Also starring Israel Broussard, Ruby Modine, and Rachel Matthews, can Tree solve her own murder? The Foreigner. Starring Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan, this action thriller focuses on a businessman who is after vengeance when his daughter dies due to an act of terrorism. Who's to blame for his daughter's death? Those who committed the act, or the government officials who may know the identity of the killer themselves? Marshall. This biographical thriller is based on the true life experiences of the first African-American Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, exploring one of his first cases. Starring Chadwick Boseman as Justice Marshall, as well as Sophia Bush, Kate Hudson, and Dan Stevens. Breathe. Another biographical film, this one is based on the life of Robin, Andrew Garfield, and Diana Cavendish, Claire Foy, who, after Robin is diagnosed with polio, take a risk in life by defying fate. Robin was confined to a hospital bed and only given months to live, but instead he and Diana, with the help of her twin brother David, Tom Hollander, found a way to raise their son and help others suffering from polio to live their lives to the fullest. Goodbye, Christopher Robin. If you ever wanted to know the true story behind the creation of Winnie the Pooh and all of his friends, your questions will all be answered here in the behind-the-scenes exploration of author A. Milne, played by Domhnall Gleeson, and his son, Christopher. Also starring Margot Robbie as Daphne Milne, Will Tilston, a young Christopher Robin, and Alex Lothar as an older version of Christopher. Gnome Alone. A young girl finds her garden gnomes aren't just traditional statues, they're alive and battling against creatures known as trogs. Will she help them rise against these beings? Starring Becky G., Tara Strong, and Josh Peck. October 20th. The Snowman. Sometimes serial killers manage to go into hibernation, although it appears this one woke back up. A woman's scarf has been found wrapped around a snowman after she goes missing. Has a killer started back up again? Will they be able to stop him this time? This mystery crime horror stars Michael Fassbender, Rebecca Ferguson, and Val Kilmer. Geostorm. Starring Gerard Butler, Talitha Elena Bateman, and Abby Cornish, satellites intended to control the climate of Earth began to attack instead, coming together to create a global geostorm. It's a race against time to uncover who is behind this attack before everything and everyone is wiped out. Only the brave. In June of 2013, there was a wildfire in Yarnell, Arizona, and this is the story of that fire and the elite team from Prescott, Arizona, who fought to quell it, starring Jennifer Connelly, Taylor Kitsch, and Josh Brolin. Boo 2, a Medea Halloween. We're back at it again with another Medea movie. This time we're running for our lives from monsters and goblins while on a haunted campground. Written, directed, and also starring Tyler Perry, as well as starring Lexi Pantera and Brock O'Hearn. Leatherface. Did you ever want to know what it was like to grow up as Leatherface? Here it is. Young Leatherface has escaped from a mental hospital, taking a nurse with him while being chased by a crazed cop hell-bent on revenge. Starring Finn Jones, Stephen Dorff, and Lily Taylor. Wonderstruck. The lives of a young boy and a young woman living 50 years apart are told at the same time, both seeming to coincide as they appear to work toward the same connection. Starring Oakes Fegley, Julianne Moore, and Michelle Williams. Same Kind of Different as Me. This drama stars Renee Zellweger, John Voight, Jaimon Hansu, and Greg Kinnear. An art dealer, played by Kinnear, must become friends with a questionable homeless man to save his struggling marriage. His wife's dreams will take them on the journey of a lifetime. October 27th. Thank you for your service. Returning to civilian life is not as easy as one presumes. At least it isn't for this group of U.S. soldiers returning home from Iraq. They work to try and find a way to live with the memories of war, the things they've seen, and what they've left of themselves on the battlefield. Starring Haley Bennett, Miles Teller, and Keisha Castle-Hughes. Suburbicon. A suburban man's home is invaded, his life ripped apart. On the surface, the town looks perfect and peaceful, but underneath, there's betrayal and deceit. This man is a part of that world now. This crime comedy drama from the Coen brothers is directed by George Clooney and starring Matt Damon, Julianne Moore, and Oscar Isaac. Jigsaw. Saw's back, but Jigsaw has been dead for 10 years. Bodies are appearing around town and their deaths are quite unique, yet entirely like him. Who's responsible for this? Who's Jigsaw this time? Starring Laura Vandervoot, Tobin Bell, and Callum Keith Reaney. The Killing of a Sacred Deer. When the life of a charismatic surgeon starts to unravel due to the sinister behavior of a young man he's taken under his wing, he makes a monstrous sacrifice. Starring Nicole Kidman, Alicia Silverstone, and Colin Farrell. Novitiate. Taking place during the 60s, we follow a young woman working toward becoming a nun. Through her training, she begins to struggle with faith, sexuality, and changes in the church. Starring Margaret Qualley, Liana Liberato, and Diana Aragon. Professor Marston and the Wonder Women. This is the true story of William Moulton Marston, creator of Wonder Woman, and the controversy that followed the character early on, as well as his relationship with his wife and his mistress in their open polyamorous marriage. Starring Luke Evans, Rebecca Hall, and Bella Heathcote. Any films you're really looking forward to? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content.